Sorry, guys.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna sing my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seeds as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
How you going, guys? Good to see ya. I'm here. I'm literally here. Deb, how you going? Out to lunch, how you going? Shannon from Mildura, Victoria Airport. Oh, well done. How you going, guys? And Alex, how you going? Who else have we got in here? Stuart Nunya Bezzo. Newsflash, my dog caught and killed his first tiger snake at my back door. I was waiting for him to die in 5 minutes. After a night at the vets and $1,450, he crunched it and spat it out. Oh, my goodness. Wow. What a dog. Well done. Is he all right? Hope he's all right. Yep, Shannon's on another adventure, says Deb. He is. Kai, how you going? Carl, how you going? Okay, is that all? Yep, okay. Sorry, I was playing with the settings after I'd already started, so hang on one sec. Where's my... There I am. Wow. Okay. I've been watching a lot of, what is it? People who want to be sworn in as a federal judge in the US. I think we might go over one of them in, actually one of the climate change experts they brought in was the guy who snows in Alaska, who's like 20 years old. And the snow's gone down. He says, try being 50 or 60 or 70. Yeah, I don't think so, mate. Like some places might be, but other places will gain. It's not just as simple as that. But I think I'll show that one on Rumble. Matt Gaetz said, well, there's this. Okay, now everyone mentioned here today is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. And by the way, YouTube did strike me for, not strike me, but did a copyright for the Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow song. Even though that was a parody and it wasn't Let It Snow, the algorithm is that dumb that it can't tell the difference in the lyrics and picked it up as the original song. Okay. Anyway, Matt Gaetz, I've appealed it. Matt Gaetz said, well, there it is, DB Cooper TX. Said, I'm no Gaetz fan, but his main accuser here appears to be in prison for falsely accusing someone else of this same stuff. Okay? Just so you know. Gunther Eagleman said, breaking, Trump's going to pursue watermarked paper ballots, voter ID and same-day voting. This is huge. We were saying that, when were we saying that? 2019 or 2020? We're talking about watermarked ballots. We were actually theorising that they may have already had watermarked ballots, but they didn't. But that's a great idea. UNN, Unity News Net, said if you care about this great nation and its people, then you can never sing any song, swear any oath or show any support to this traitorous family. The Saxe-Coburg Gothers have picked their side, the side of mass immigration, net zero and Starmer's tyranny. Absolute traitors. As if you didn't know that. Okay? Just letting you know. In case there's people watching who don't know, just to let you know. Declaration of Memes says, since the topic of immigration is raging right now, let's talk about an idea I've had for a while. Now, here we go. I'll be in this one. Why not beat the left at their own game? They clearly attempted to flood the country with millions of people from poor countries who they could bribe into voting left and erode the liberty and rights of the native population. I propose creating a liberty test. It includes civics and basic questions, testing people for what they believe is the right thing to do in certain situations. Find their rough political ideology because of it. Bring them in from predominantly European countries. Bring millions of right-wing people who love America and freedom and shift the voting demographic significantly. Make America so extraordinarily right-wing the left can never have a foothold again. The people coming are those that assimilate the best way, the best, and already share American values. Pick from the list, starting with those who have both the right ideology and a skilled tradesman, like engineers, doctors, entrepreneurs, scientists, etc. I'm not skilled, sorry. I've got everything else, just not skilled at, oh, well, I could be, if you wanted me to. I can be anything you want. Looking at some of the people applying for Supreme Court, I could be, you know. We could in one fell swoop permanently change America from a centre-right nation to a very right-wing nation based on freedom in the Constitution. Few things to consider. Birth rates are abysmal. America is on decline, already both demographically and economically. White Americans aren't having babies and it isn't showing signs of improving. Under desperate circumstances, people tend to beg the state to intervene. We are one disaster away from handing everything over to the authoritarian leftists. We are prioritising people who speak English and whose children would see themselves as Americans and not Dutch or Germans or whatever the native country is. This could turn even states like California red, and America could be the greatest nation of all time for centuries instead of a nation in decline. Will some people game the system? Surely, but the vast majority that come in would be the type of immigrant that would benefit American culture, politics, and the economy. Why not do this? It's just a suggestion. It's not a law. It's not, anything, but it's a suggestion. This kind of goes along with me saying, how about all the right-wingers move to America, all the people who are awake, right? Move to America and let the left wing have an island to themselves and see how they go. They're not allowed to rely on any other country, right? They have to rely on themselves, and they'd be cancelling each other left, right and centre. You would not have any laws passed because they wouldn't let you. Someone would have a problem with it, okay? Someone would. Okay, Anne Vandersteel said, but it's a good suggestion. If only I was really experienced at something. What could that possibly be? I'm not an engineer, a doctor, an entrepreneur, or a scientist. I don't know. Okay. Anne Vandersteel. Anne Vandersteel said Orwellian Times, standing here at the gate at the Miami International Airport, they just announced that Customs and Border Patrol will be taking our picture for future biometrics before we can board. We were told we have to cooperate. I'll be asking, or else what? If you don't cooperate, what? I don't know. Everyone should turn around and walk out of the airport. I don't know, but I'm sure there's business flights and things that people can't postpone, but dear God, seriously? Is anything worth that much that over your own morals? I don't know. Mark PG said throughout the government in Australia, state and federally, there are 275,000 public servants employed in climate change departments. Think of the savings. How much are they getting each year? 275,000 people getting what? Anywhere from 50 to 500,000 a year? That would save a lot of money. Can we have Trump? Anyway, they're employed in climate change departments. Seeing though it's a hoax, what do they do all day? What exactly? I want to know exactly what they do. Look, we need a Doge here in Australia. We need someone like me, right, to go in there and do what Elon did and Vivek and say, give me or show me what you've done this week. What have you accomplished this week? What have you actually done? Anything? No, they're probably all on holiday right now. Katie said, big bushfires in the Grampians. Where's Albo? We don't know. Okay, there's bushfires all over Australia right now. They're getting closer. Let me show you. Let me just show you. Okay. Oh, hang on. Where are we? We've got some closer now. What's this one? Lithgow, not yet controlled. It's a bushfire. 1 hectare has been burnt. Okay. Putty Road, Colo Heights, Hawkesbury being controlled, bushfire 10 hectares. Okay. Responsible agency, Rural Fire Service. You know what the responsible agency for this one is? New South Wales National Parks and Wildlife Service for a bushfire that's not yet controlled in Lithgow. Are they watching it? Is there like 20 people standing around just watching it? I don't know. But anyway, trying to go out, not in. New South Wales is pretty much got bushfires nearly all over it. There you go. They're not that close yet, though. But the Grampians, and they're close to someone, I'll tell you that right now. JT said, and here we go again, Victoria, of course it has to be. Urgent health alert after measles and polio found in Victoria. I thought polio hadn't been seen for years. The cases were detected on a flight and in wastewater. I'm going to need more details. They're testing the wastewater. What are they testing wastewater for? Anything? And will some diseases show up in that wastewater because it's 100 million people's shit floating around in it? I don't know. That might be a really stupid question. It probably is, but I don't know. Okay, anyway, I would discount this. Seriously? It's a scare campaign. Tucker Carlson News said breaking President-elect Donald Trump has announced that all military members who were discharged for refusing the COVID mandate will be reinstated and receive full back pay along with formal apology from the United States government. Do you support this, yes or no? Yes. Same as the fireys and the medical people, especially the medical people, actually. They're probably the only ones in the system that are awake. John Rich said it's nice to see the drones over New Jersey took a break to celebrate Christmas, but then again, the government doesn't work on holidays. Does that show you who the drones belong to? I heard they were looking for, I keep hearing people still theorising, WMDs, weapons of mass destruction. Okay, Real AF Patriot said wait until the people learn that the 2021 inauguration was fake and it was actually a military transition of power. Is that why all the fences went up? Possibly. Not Up Q said fact check true. Transition of military power following foe void Biden inauguration. Good morning, America. On January the 18th, 2021, retired Major General William Walker, 23rd Command General of the District of Columbia National Guard, made a shocking reveal that went heavily unnoticed by most. Around the 37-second mark in the following clip. How proud I am of the almost 25,000 National Guardsmen who've come in from all 50 states and territories to help support the Secret Service and the police departments with peaceful transition to military power. This occurred just 2 days before Joe Biden's inauguration, scripted, pre-recorded inauguration, mind you, which so happened to swear him in 17 minutes early, therefore deemed unconstitutional and avoiding the entire swearing-in ceremony. The phrase transition to military power can be interpreted as another way of saying martial law was activated with the commencement and faux inauguration of the White Hat double playing in the fake Joe Biden White Hat shadow presidency. Okay, let's have a look. This was ABC. Let's go to let's start from here.
5,000 National Guardsmen who have come in from all 50 states and territories to help support the Secret Service and the police departments with a peaceful transition of military power. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
With a peaceful control to military power. That's what they said. I didn't say it, they did. Biden double has 0 arm tattoos. May the 5th, 2009, The Onion published Joe Biden washing a Trans Am with tattoos on both arms. Will they stick on tattoos? New York Times reported his second mRNA bioweapon injection. His second injection dose at Delaware with none. There's no tattoos there. Hello. Hello, people. There's something weird going on. I'm telling you now. Oh, dear. Anywho. Okay. Let's like that. Let's like all of these. Yep, they're interesting. Something interesting to consider. Derek Evans said, breaking. RFK Jr. wants to ban lab-grown meats in the US. Well done. Can we have some of that over here? I'll have what they're having. John O'Looney said, shared this PhD 2020. Russia has already been cut off from CNN, Pornhub and Facebook. The US is now working on depriving Russians of McDonald's and Coca-Cola. If they keep going with these sanctions, Russia will soon be among the healthiest, most well-adjusted and best-informed people on the planet. They will. MAGA Voice said, very interesting. Why did the government do more to stop the distribution of ivermectin and the hydroxychloroquine than stop the distribution of fentanyl? Because they don't want to help. They want to hurt. Possibly even get rid of some people. Okay, Ivor Cummins said, imagine the amount of propaganda that it must have taken to convince people that this is the problem and that the millions of acres of solar panels and wind farms are not are the solution. Who the hell thought that one up? Seriously. And I can't believe people fell for it. I just can't. It's one of the first things I clicked onto when I woke up was, I get it. There was an old documentary. It was called Don't Talk About the Weather. There's a few of them. Just go search chemtrails or something like that on Rumble. You're probably best off, even Bitchute. Any of those alternative platforms. And go research HARP. Cat Turd is laughing and said owned. Dan Crenshaw said, yeah, well, your audience might want to start doubting you. Okay, this is in response to Cat Turd, who said, never doubt me when I call these scumbags out. Dan Crenshaw said, yeah, well, your audience might want to start doubting you because this is completely made up. Knowingly spreading slander isn't a good look, not to mention libelous, so you might want to delete. Readers added context. It's been reported, and the FEC records confirm that in December 2022, Crenshaw's campaign entered a conciliation agreement to pay a $42,000 fine for knowingly accepting $223,460.26 in apparent excessive and prohibited contributions for the 2020 primary and general election. From the fec.gov. Okay. Just so we know. Now, this is more redeeming. The people that the Liberal, which is supposed to be the right wing in Australia, have pushed out. Okay, you'll find out why. We have a uni party. Jill said, well, said more redeeming, I won't be taking lectures on the gender balance of our team from anyone who can't even decide what a woman is. The Liberal Party, state and federal, need more MPs like her. Let's have a listen. Oh, I better turn that down so it doesn't blare in your ears, just in case.
You've championed women's rights. Are you disappointed there's no women in the leadership team?
I won't be taking lectures on how the gender balance of our team from anybody who can't even define what a woman is. We have amazing women in our team. They're not all about ego and position, okay? We will all burrow down and do our jobs, and we'll work wherever we're best placed to work, and that's fine. Yeah. It was a democratic election. It is what it is. If women want equal treatment, that means being, accepting the results of democratic elections. That's just a fact.
So you accept the gender mix as being fair and reasonable for the party?
I don't care about a gender mix. I care about merit.
So there's no women in your team that are worthy, have got enough merit to be leaders?
I said it was a democratic election.
He also said merit.
No, but they're still in the team. They're just not with that title. That doesn't mean that the leadership team isn't going to give respect to their voices and opinions. I don't think that that's what's going to happen.
Who's the moron reporter who keeps asking the question? I really want to know who that moron reporter is. What an absolute moron. Can I have his job? I'll do that. Can I be a reporter? Okay, then I'd be, and then I could move to America maybe if I had a job. Truthseeker said oil isn't made from dinosaur fossils. It's naturally produced from within the earth like the blood within our bodies. It's a renewable source which can never run out. Someone found oil in the ground. Started spurting up everywhere. Let's have a listen. Is it in English? Is there any music? Okay. No?
Subba.
You know what? You're better off harnessing that and using it than letting it go to waste. It's going to do it anyway. Donald J. Trump. His little dance. But he's steering the reindeer. Yeah, if Santa didn't come this year, don't forget he's hanging on the wind turbines, okay? And all the reindeer as well. Got chopped to bits. Hope no kids are watching this. Lauren Lee said exposed. A Senate aide just dropped the horrifying truth about COVID injuries, and it's worse than anyone thought. 97% of claims are denied. Taxpayers on the hook. And Farmer Walks 3. Free. I might have to do that on Rumble, actually. Here's how the game's rigged. Okay, from injuries from certain procedures, okay? I will read that one on Rumble. Oh, God love you.
SW tipped $3. Every night when I get home I settle down to primetime limbo when all the boys are gathered around shouting it are on TV, and though the roaches are thick on the ground somebody goes to close my window, keep the noise of the city down, get a dose of Integrit.
Integrity? Is that what the end was supposed to say? Thank you, SW, you legend. I'm thinking that's another song that I don't know. It's gone over my head. They keep going over my head. Clandestine said, I see Vivek getting a lot of flack for his take, but I agree with him. He's not saying we must import foreigners. He's saying our culture has deteriorated and glorifies the wrong things, which is why we are outworked in certain fields by Asian cultures. He's right. Of course, there are still brilliant American minds and hard-working attitudes still exists, but as a collective, American society and culture has fallen immensely. So have we. Believe me. You're not alone. Indian and Far East Asian cultures are much more rigid about family and academia, and those families that move to America are at a significant advantage because most Americans are some combination of lazy, entitled, unmotivated, chemically imbalanced, depressed, lacking direction, etc. Not all, okay? Just some. Okay? Probably a lot, you know? But we have that here too. Okay. US media glorifies athletes, actors, rappers, gangsters, video game streamers, OnlyFans models, etc., as opposed to scientists and engineers. This influences the collective youth and thus shifts the direction of our society. It's a bit like China teaching their children to load and unload guns in the classroom. US media driven by left has also shifted US culture to be more individualistic and broken up the nuclear family. They promote polygamy, homosexuality, transsexuality, etc., and demonise traditional family values. This has dramatically hindered the collective American youth from succeeding without a supportive and stable family environment. This is just an objective reality of American society. We focus on the wrong things, which has consequences. It doesn't mean we cannot recover. It just means that if we as a society do not focus on academia, we will continue to fall behind in academia, simple as that. And when they talk about academia, they actually mean proper academia, not gender studies or women's studies or some social bullshit studies. Okay, and that was in response to the thing I read yesterday here that Vivek Ramaswamy said. Okay. Human Perspective said, wow, watch this heated moment. Malcolm Roberts asked the TGA whether aluminium adjuvants cause a certain problem in children. Minister Katie Gallagher loses it at Senator Roberts for asking the offensive question, then in the same breath admits her children are vaccinated and one has autism. We'll play this, okay? This is not me saying it, okay? YouTube, it's not me saying it. This is one of our senators in the Australian Parliament, okay? Let's have a listen.
Many years.
Are aluminium adjuvants causing the spectrum of neurological conditions commonly called autism?
I'm not aware of any accepted evidence that that is the case. Senator.
Minister, you may say...
Well, do you know why I say...
No, I'm talking.
Senator Roberts, because I have a child with autism and I have vaccinated children and I find it offensive.
Many years.
Are aluminium...
Boo-hoo, go cry in the corner if you find it offensive. I'm sorry you have an autistic child, but if you find words offensive, go cry in the corner, mate. Seriously. You'd think she'd be looking at things, wouldn't you, with her children fully vaccinated and autistic, or one of them autistic. I'd look into things. If that was me, I'd be wondering and looking into things. Not just sitting there being paid to say whatever you are being paid to say. See, that's where your morals and your ethics come in. If you don't have any, like this lady doesn't seem to have, then, you know, you'll just sell yourself out. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what your beliefs are. Money's more important. Wall Street Mav said there's a massive misunderstanding about H-1B visas, the type of people coming in on these visas. These are not elite top 1% type engineers and programmers. They're mostly very mediocre and nothing special. No, they drive Ubers and deliver shit. These people are brought in for cheap labour, not elite talent. There are exceptions, sure, very few. Ruth said, I'm tired of having my ancestors compared to today's migrant hordes, settling an undeveloped land and building a civilization out of it is not comparable to just showing up to an ageing post-industrial nation signing up for benefits. There you go. We've got that here too. They're mostly people who don't speak English who come over here and they can't work and they don't do anything, so they go on benefits. And they may have 3 or 4 women with 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 children each, and they get benefits for all of them. That is insane. Because of polygamy. Marrying many wives, you know. RM said, showed this, 2021 Chief Health Officer of South Australia Professor Nicole Spurrier. If you're at Adelaide Oval and the ball comes towards you, this is to avoid getting COVID, mind you, my advice to you is duck and do not touch the ball. This was her advice during COVID. I could do better than that. I'm not even a doctor, nowhere near it. Or a health professor, or a health professional, or an expert. Jesus. I swear they just take a photo of some chick and put this person here as an expert. Same as on TV. They pay people and say, okay, you're going to be an expert, you're going to say this, and we're going to interview you, and you're going to say this. And so that's what I think half of them do. Or they get a doctor on. They pay this person, say, okay, you're going to be a doctor for an hour, okay, just while we interview you. You know, crisis actors and things like that. SG Anon said, did you know the element copper was purposely removed in the Western world's water and gas delivery lines due to its antimicrobial and purification effects when interacting with water molecules? Now, I don't claim to know anything about this, okay, but just... you can do what you want, go do your own research, as always, and make up your own mind. It has purification effects when interacting with water molecules. The tradition of tossing a penny into a water fountain is evidence of this timeless truth, as the ancients in human history used copper coins, alloys and other derivatives to cleanse harmful parasites and bacteria from aqueduct systems, streams and village tributaries across their societies. Oh, shit, there's too many words in here I can't pronounce. The Ayurveda, a spiritual text dating back several thousand years, instructs the reader to store their water in copper vessels. Now I can't even speak. Interestingly, when water is stored in a copper vessel, the copper ions slowly exchange themselves or blend into the molecular makeup of the water in a purification process called the oligodynamic effect, literally changing the charge of the water molecules and destroying infectious agents in the process. Other known benefits of copper include antioxidant effects, facilitation of iron absorption inside the body, improved digestive capability, alleviation of anemia, improved brain conductivity and functionality, alleviation of arthritis symptoms, better regulation of the liver, thyroid and kidney organ systems, increased wound healing speeds, and more. Okay, I don't know about this, honestly. Copper poisoning, Carolyn Coram said. I stopped following this person. There was a reason. I'm not going to I'm not going to say either way, and I'm not going to tell anyone who to follow and not to follow. Mystic Angel said, just bought a house with all copper pipes on well water, tested at 0.0 for anything in it, best tasting water I've ever had. You know the, what is it called? TDS tester? Total Dissolved Solids tester. I've got one. And most, even distilled water, comes out with 0.3 of something in it. Okay, just letting you know. Gunther Eagleman said, if you were given the COVID vaccine while you were sedated, you should sue the F out of whoever gave it to you. Yeah, if you were sedated and they gave it to you, I would be suing. Tara Bull said, we live in a time where we trust a guy by the name Cat Turd more than our own government. How did we get here? We do. And it's funny, actually. Because we have access to so much information on Twitter if you look. If you follow the right people and you look. Pretty good. Tony Heller said Antarctic sea ice extent is 17% higher today than it was in 1979. Ice doesn't lie, but climate scientists do. So this is today. Oh, sorry. The new one. This is the old one. Okay. Sea ice extent for 24th of December, 1979. The sea ice extent on the 24th of December. Sorry, December, did I say? 2024. There's more. Okay. Just for anyone who still believes the climate BS. Yeah. I don't know. Dr. Simon Godek said, if carbon dioxide is so bad for the planet, why do greenhouse growers buy CO2 generators to double plant growth? Can anyone answer that for me? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Didn't think so. Mike Engelman said inside DC there's whispers that Democrats are secretly plotting a plan to stop the certification of Trump on J6. In other words, they're plotting their own insurrection. Fuck around, find out is all I will say. Oh dear. Australian Patriot said Labor is wasting taxpayer fund trying to sell its policies ahead of the federal election, with a new $18 million to be spent on advertising itself. When it's going to lose, we know that. And this is the newest spend. They've already blown through $7 million in the last 3 months. They failed so badly in government that now they're blowing through taxpayer money to spin their way back into office. Labor cannot be trusted with the economy. Spending spree continues. Labor blows $18 million on ad blitz. This is more just taking the money off the taxpayer and giving it to your mates to say good things about you. Or using the media in that way anyway. Even if he says good things about himself, you know. They'll pay people to say good things about them and put that in the ad too. Like some woman saying, oh, you know, emotional pull. That's what they do. You got to put a guard up against your emotions here. Dr. Deborah So said women are allowed to have sexual boundaries. This includes excluding bisexual men. Most women don't want to have relations with a man who's had relations with other men. It's not that difficult. Look, most women, I believe, hopefully, shit, I might be talking just for myself here. But if you've ever been with a man and you're a man, don't come near me. Please don't. I'm not into any, look, please, just keep it there and stay there. You'll find a woman somewhere who might not mind, but I'm not one of them, okay? No. Nope, not at all. And you know my stance on it, even a straight guy who wants to do that way, no. No. Sorry, no. Nope. Anyway, Vivek Ramaswamy said merit or group quotas, can't have both. I've said it for years and it remains my view today. You either go on merit or group quotas. So you hire Indians because they might be more qualified, or you go on group quotas of white people. What do you want to do? We've been going on about merit for so long. I don't know. And, you know, those visas that they are at the moment, though, they're not bringing in the best. How about you swap them out? Send the ones back home that aren't doing anything and bring the ones who are in. You'll see a big improvement in your country, I'm telling you. I believe here in Australia, if we did that too, we'd have better quality in our country, and our country would probably do better than it is now, to put it really, really simply. Stephen said, press, oh yeah, if you've had enough, if you haven't, bought any Coles meat in December, raise your hand if you haven't. Okay, I'm not buying any of it. And in fact, I'm starting to tell people to be careful and look for these things in your food. People who aren't on the internet and don't know. Okay. Sorry, just had a little burp there. Tara Bull said, breaking, Dan Crenshaw is now threatening to sue Cat Turd if he doesn't delete factual posts about him, made about him. You can't make this stuff up. So he's going to sue Cat Turd because Cat Turd put some facts up about him and he doesn't like it. Again, he's threatening to sue Cat Turd. Come on, man. Okay, this is the opinionated black woman auntie. I'm so sick of hearing, oh, that's expensive. We're cheaper than the supermarkets on most of our meat. Most butchers are, if you look. And you won't get any surprises like bovea hormones or mRNA as a forced add-on. But butchers are so expensive. P.S. Beef and real cheese snags are yum. Check this out. This person obviously has either a little supermarket or a butcher. I'd say butcher because that's what they just said, wasn't it? They have a butcher. You are better off going to the butcher. And you know what? You can ask if you just want 2 little lamb chops, you can just ask for 2 little lamb chops, okay? Whereas when you go to the supermarket, depending on what they've got, they can have 2 little lamb chops, but you know, sometimes you're only stuck with the really big packages that you have to spend a lot more money on. Look at the weight by kilo, okay, rather than the actual price you're paying for it. Because if you go and buy 2 little lamb chops from Coles and you go and buy 2 little lamb chops from the butchers, you're going to find they're around the same price. Because it's the price of the kilo, not, or, you know, the overall, I don't know if you go by pound or what you do in America, but it's the price of the overall thing. Look at the price per pound, price per kilo. You'll see. Cat Turd said Mark Cuban deleted all his tweets in his history relating to supporting Kamala. What was this in response to? Is that it? He knows how dumb he looked. Sorry, Mark, the internet's forever. I don't know why I bookmarked that one. Anyway, okay. I don't have the context. Elon Musk said the reason the government's so insanely inefficient, is that those in the government are spending your money on somebody else. That's why we should minimise how much the government does. It's simply a giant version of the DMV. Let's have a listen.
Well, you know, you can spend your own money on yourself. And when you spend your own money on yourself, you're very careful of what you spend it on, and you make sure that you get the most for your dollar. You can spend your own money on somebody else. You give gifts to other people. You take people out to dinner. And when you spend your own money on somebody else, you're very careful that you don't spend too much. You try to keep down the amount you spend. But you don't worry very much about what the other fellow's getting from it. You don't pay anything like as much attention to the gifts you buy for other people as to the things you buy for yourself. Or you can spend somebody else's money, as when you're spending the government's money. I say the government's money, the taxpayers' money, which the government has control over. Now you're spending somebody else's money. Let's say you're spending your boss's money. You're out to lunch on a expense account, but you're spending it on yourself. You're very careful that you get good things for your money. You try to have a good lunch and pick the right things, but you're not very much worried about whether you get the cheapest. Spend all you want, and you'll be careless. Now, what happens when you spend somebody else's money on somebody else? You're a distributor of welfare funds. Well, you're interested in making your own life as good as you can, and most people have humane instincts and want to do the best they can, but you're not going to be anything like as careful in spending somebody else's money on somebody else. So there are 4 ways in which you can spend money.
Wow, that was interesting, and he's
Well,
right, you know. These people don't care. They just spend and spend and spend like it's a never-ending freaking pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Bunce number 23 said, growing up in Australia in the 70s was great. I now realise that was a gross understatement. It was. Growing up in the 70s in Australia. It was a lovely time. It's really sad now. Sassafras 84 said politicians are upset that they can't control freedom of speech any longer. Ask Dan Crenshaw. Dude is getting his ass handed to him left and right on X. Oh, sucko. Flat Out Truth said, what if Ozempic is just another word for the chrome? The Drina one. I thought that was an interesting thought. What do you think? What if it is? And that's why they look so strange. It's definitely going to prove to be extremely harmful in the years to come, even if people peddling it somehow don't have nefarious intent. Yeah, it could be, you know. I wonder if it is. It's an interesting question. I don't claim to know the answer, but it's an interesting question. Rothmas, 100%. Tim Poole said, I'm going to buy more guns today. Cornsey, apparently Australian. I'm an Australian and would just like to ask, why do you need guns? This is a conversation Australians aren't ready for. A lot of them, sorry. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Because the first thing you hear is, do you want to be like America? Do you ever want to be shooting everybody? And I'm like, okay, this is this needs a longer explanation of what false flags are, of the things government will do to have power, of going into why you don't want to be disarmed, because what happens after disarmament in a country is normally not a good thing. Anthony Pacito said, so we don't get locked in camps for having a virus with a 99.9% survival rate. First and Second Amendment as well. Geez. This is a lot of Australians. They just, like, it might be innocent, but no, they are not. They don't know. We have been propagandised so hard that Australians are against firearms. A lot of them are. Anyway. The opinionated black woman auntie said the gimme, 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 we want people are at it again. Ozpill said day 100 of Australia's refugee protests and why they feel emboldened to demand to stay in Australia forever. Okay? You're asking why do you need guns? Okay.
So we're at day 100 of the refugee encampment. Have to be a little bit secretive though because I've been kicked out on previous occasions. So at this point you're probably wondering, what is a refugee protest? Well, it's exactly how it sounds. It's refugees demanding permanent visas. That is to stay in Australia forever. And you might also be wondering, what are these Australian looking people doing there? Well, many of them are actually the communists who sponsor these migrant protests. And now you're probably still wondering, what was that footage at the start? Well, this was just another week I came to document this migrant protest, but before I could even get any interviews done, these guys showed up to basically counter that protest. And their position is pretty much summed up by the sign they had, but I'll let you read that one. And before you think this is actually about refugees, just listen to this chant. No borders, no nations. So not only have they come to Australia and demanded permanent visas, but now they're saying Australia shouldn't even exist. And the reason I said it's not actually about refugees is because many of them aren't. They've just come here, overstayed their welcome, and are now using an asylum claim to try and stay here forever, which is something that a lot of international students are doing as well. But specifically in relation to these protests, many of them are from Sri Lanka, and 12 years ago they came here by boat to flee the civil war there. But the civil war ended 12 years ago. And there was a really big case about this Tamil family who were trying to claim asylum in Australia to flee that civil war. And multiple Australian courts and administrative review tribunals found that they actually didn't have genuine asylum claims. Nevertheless, that family was eventually allowed to stay in Australia because they protested and because a weak government made the call to just let them stay. And you know, that's a really big step down from Australia's old policy, which was explained pretty clearly in posters like this, which said, if you come here by boat, if you come here illegally, you will not end up in Australia. But because we've become weak and allowed cases like that family to just stay because they protested, many more of these quote-unquote refugees are following suit, just demanding to stay here.
And there you go. Oops, don't want to hear that. It was loud at the beginning. Even Cat Turd is asking, are the drones on Christmas break? No sign of them anywhere. Malcolm Roberts said, I love this line, full fart milk. Victorian farm Bass River Dairies announced earlier this month it was selling full fart milk from cows that were not fed Bovea, while Norco also confirmed it was not using the supplement. Full fart milk. In other words, the cows haven't been given any anti-fart stuff. Insurrection Barbie said Senator Schumer did an interview with Politico Playbook about how they have Trump-proofed the judiciary, and they will use lawfare to slow down or stop the second Trump term. I don't know exactly what Trump will do, but I can tell you this, the judiciary will be one of our strongest, if not our strongest barrier against what he does. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer told Playbook in an exclusive interview this week, it certainly helps them that they were able to confirm 235 of arguably the most radical judges in this country over these last 4 years. John Strand said the judiciary in America is overwhelmingly compromised to various degrees and at various levels, but it's absolutely an existential Achilles heel. We must make impeachment great again. There is no hope without real accountability for wrongdoing, and they've done real harm. Insurrection Barbie said, I'm actually really worried about the judiciary in America because if there's anything we've learned from all the lawfare, that is that the judiciary has become extremely weaponized and infested with radical lunatics. And we'll look at that on Rumble a bit further after some of the videos I saw this morning. Senator Kennedy's pretty good, mate. I'll tell you that right now. Josh Hawley, Ted Cruz. Yeah. The Road Knights said, consider the theft of generations of Aboriginal children that the government committed and institutionalisation of those children, most of them given to churches to train up to be indentured labour in this country. They weren't removed for no reason. They may not have survived abuse and neglect. So what's better? Children removed from horror, taught English and basic skills for employment, or a dead generation? If they'd been left alone, the activists would be screaming about government neglect. Rescued, not stolen. Yeah, and I'm hearing that all over the world about a lot of native populations before colonialisation got there. It's just what I'm hearing. I don't know. I'm not saying anything's true or false. I'm just hearing a lot. Stephen said, we now have women no-go zones in Australia. If this is Lauren Southern, this was like 10, 15 years ago. I remember seeing it. Okay, let's have a little look. Yeah, it is Lauren Southern. Yeah, this was like 10, 15. I've known about this for a long time.
I'm headed to an area called Lakemba in Sydney, Australia, and it's supposed to be a very high Muslim population area. As soon as we arrived in Lakemba, things were tense. There were heads turning, people coming out of shops to look at us and find out what we were doing. Men started yelling in Arabic across the street at us. As we went to go for a walk to the local mosque, a very high-ranked police officer came up to me and begged with me, do not go there.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. Yeah, right. Sure.
Speaking.
Inspector Rick Ages from Campsie Police.
Yep.
I've been informed that you're intending to attending the Lakemba Mosque. Is that correct?
I actually have no intentions of attending. I was just planning on walking through the streets and seeing how the culture was here.
Yes?
Yep.
Are you satisfied with that?
Yep.
So where do you intend on walking to now?
I was just going to walk out and check how the mosque was.
Check where the mosque was?
Yep. Would I not be allowed to attend if I wanted to?
I've got grave concerns that you may cause an imminent breach of the peace down there, so I'm asking you not to attend.
Why would I cause a breach of the peace?
Because it's highly religious down there.
So would it be me causing a breach of the peace, or would it be the people there?
Well, your presence may cause them to be, be offensive and be objective to your attending there.
Is this Australia? She would fit in with every Australian. The other people won't, but hey, don't offend them for God's sake.
And so that would be them being offended
Please,
by me.
Can you not interview me?
No, you fear people will be offended by me.
No, yeah.
Yes, thank you.
And you're committing a breach of the peace. I've given you that warning. And if you do that, you may be breaking the law. Do you understand that?
Yep, I understand it. I perfectly understand. As far as I'm concerned, you have Sharia law here. As far as I'm concerned. Yeah, we'll go to jail if we talk to people. As far as I'm concerned, they have Sharia law here. I was told if I talk to people, even if I put all my cameras away, I can't criticize Islam to people here on a public street in Australia, in Sydney. Don't tell me you don't have no-go zones. Don't tell me this is a multicultural country. Lakemba is a monoculture, and it is one that does not allow critique of Islam. It is one that does not allow free speech because it is conquered land.
Exactly. That's not the only suburb too. There are heaps of suburbs all over the place like that. And I know that's the same in the UK. You probably have areas in the US where it's like that. Okay, I did this for the Il Donaldo Trumpo. Santa Surfing posted this. Well, check out what President Trump just posted. The last election is still in play. Wow, it's coming. Il Donaldo Trumpo said, hold on, I'm coming. Trump has pledged to prosecute all individuals accused of involvement in the alleged theft of 2020, including Google execs. Okay. Elon Musk shared this. Happy holiday. It's Merry Christmas. I don't know. Do the people who say happy holidays, do they put a Christmas tree up? Do they buy presents for their kids and grandkids or whatever? Or their brothers and sisters, mums and dads? I want to know. Why do you celebrate it if you don't believe in it? Interesting. Anyway, just a question I have. Thriller the Gorilla said the world's a stage, my friends. Wow. Isn't that interesting? Very similar colours. Very similar. The world's a stage. Zal said there's at least Campsie, Burwood, Lakemba, Auburn, Punchbowl, Bankstown, and now Harris Park is India. I don't even know what Parramatta is. Is that like China, India? I don't know. Nigel Farage MP said, Kemi says, I don't understand the digital age. I have 54 million followers and she has 320,000. Kemi Badenoch said, manipulating your own supporters at Christmas, Nigel? It's not real. It's a fake coded, what is it? A fake clock coded to tick up automatically. We've been watching the back end for days and can also see they've just changed the code to link to a different site. As people point this out, Farage doesn't understand the digital age. This kind of fakery gets found out pretty quickly, although not before many are fooled. This claim is false. It's not a fake ticker. The website code clearly shows data being pulled via an API. Sky News has independently verified the source of the API data and confirmed the membership number is accurate. What's it for? Okay, anyway, Nigel Farage spoke up and said, we understand you are bitter, upset and angry that we are now the second biggest party in British politics, and that the Conservative brand is dying under your leadership. However, this is not an excuse to accuse us of committing fraud. We will gladly invite one of the big four firms in to audit our membership numbers as long as you do the same. We've also heard from many Tory whistleblowers that will swear under affidavits that ballots were sent out to long expired or resigned ex-members in your leadership election. It's an open secret at CCHQ that your membership numbers are fake. So she got fact-checked. He, she, Kemi, whoever this is, got fact-checked and got told that they can go and audit all they like and that Nigel knows that there's a fake. Projection, Your Honour. Yeah, I want to know this too. I mentioned this yesterday. Concerned citizen said, how do you lose 41? That's billion. It's not like a remote control down the sofa. What an absolute scam. 41 billion of World Bank Climate Change Fund has gone missing. Okay, in case you didn't know. It's money laundering. Okay. There we go. There we have it. John Carter said Google, founded by white guys. Microsoft, founded by a white guy. Adobe, founded by white guys. IBM, founded by white guys. Chanel, founded by a French woman. FedEx, founded by a white guy. Palo Alto Networks, founded by an Indian, an Israeli, a Chinese guy and a white guy. Perplexity, founded by an Indian guy, Chinese and two white guys. This suggests a pattern. Indians are extremely skilled at climbing the hierarchies of established corporate bureaucracies, but not really so good at innovation, which is almost entirely the domain of white men. Also worth pointing out that those companies that got taken over by Indians have mostly gone to shit. Google is a case in point. It's practically unusable now, which indicates that Indians are very good at getting themselves hired, but not so great at actually competently running things in the long term. Dr. Parikh Patel said the CEO of Google is Indian. The CEO of Microsoft is Indian. The CEO of Adobe is Indian. The CEO of IBM is Indian. The CEO of Chanel is Indian. The CEO of FedEx is Indian. The CEO of Palo Alto Networks is Indian. The CEO of Perplexity is Indian. So yes, Indians are high-skilled immigrants. There's a full-on war going on, man. Yeah, but Google's going down the drain. Microsoft isn't that good either. In fact, I'd question a lot of these. But I don't know. I don't agree with this person either, okay, full on. I think they can have smart people if they're taught the correct way. If we're all taught the correct way, we would all be smart, okay? That's what I think. It's just the quality of people they're bringing here. They're not the best of the best. And that's why you're seeing shit on the beaches and whatever else we're seeing. Destroyed neighbourhoods full of garbage. The opinionated black woman auntie said, attention, air conditioning is racist and causes racial inequality. Who wrote this bullshit? Healthyhomes.org. What the fuck? Oh my God. Air conditioning, look, we need to stop funding people who do this bullshit research. Air conditioning, heat vulnerability and racial equity. Over 5 July days, the 1995 Chicago heat killed 739 people, most of whom were elderly and poor and or black. 75% of those who died lacked air conditioning. 25 years later, heat waves have nearly doubled in frequency. A different pandemic has arrived in the form of COVID, and again, the same poor, elderly and black residents are left to suffer the most. Studies of cities across the country, from Berkeley, California to Richmond, Virginia, have found that households of colour are more likely to live in the hottest parts of the city. The result of decades of discrimination in housing policies. No, that's building too much concrete and glass around there. Today, in nearly every city in the country, air conditioning is not considered an essential service. This is not for lack of legislative ability. Local ordinances require building owners to provide and maintain many of the other essential services, like sewerage or hot and potable water, but not air conditioning. The US Department of Housing and Urban Development, which funds billions of affordable housing units, does not require public housing authorities to provide air conditioning and explicitly forbids PHAs from including the costs of running air conditioning in the calculation of a tenant's utility allowance. Look, I don't know what it's like there. I don't have air conditioning, okay? Is it racist? Because I don't have air conditioning? No, it's because I'm bloody well poor. That's why I don't have air conditioning. Even if I had an air conditioner, do you think I could run the thing? Electricity prices, mate. No bloody way in the wide world would I be turning an air conditioner on when I already nearly can't afford to pay my bills. Yeah, I don't know. I choose this. But hey, let's just call it racist, hey? Everything's racist. British Defence League said how the British have passively succumbed to the Muslim invasion. Mayor of London, Muslim. Mayor of Birmingham, Muslim. Mayor of Leeds, Muslim. Mayor of Blackburn, Muslim. Mayor of Sheffield, Muslim. Mayor of Oxford, Muslim. Mayor of Luton, Muslim. Mayor of Oldham, Muslim. Mayor of Rochdale, Muslim. All the following achieved by just 4 million Muslims out of the 66 million population. Over 3,000 Muslim mosques, over 130 Muslim Sharia courts, over 50 Muslim Sharia councils, Muslim-only no-go areas across the UK, like Australia. Muslim women, 78% don't work and are on free benefits housing. Muslim men, 63% don't work and are on free benefits housing. Muslim families, 6 to 8 children planning to go on free benefits housing. And now all UK schools are only serving halal meat. Manchester Evening News. He showed no remorse and denied everything. Then he was faced with indisputable evidence. Of course. There are some cultures that just don't mix. Sorry. It's facts. I'm not being racist. It's facts. If your culture wants to kill all Christians and Jews and, you know, like maybe you shouldn't be in those countries. AJ here said the Canadians should vote to join the US and watch the King of England activate his martial law powers through his Governor-General. Then the people of Canada will finally understand they're not a free country and that their parliament is ceremonial. Once Canadians know this fact, they can sign a new Declaration of Independence and by peaceful force of action emancipate themselves from the criminal crown, just as America did in 1776. Canada, take your destiny into your own hands now. Donald Trump News said, should Canada become the 51st state? I don't know, I'm not Canadian. But if it was Australia, I'd be going, yeah, why not? Yeah, why not? Can we? Cat Turd said, is that a man? Tesla Economics says Jeff Bezos likes to show off his girl. Elon Musk likes to show his mum and kids. Not all billionaires are created equal. Holy guacamole. Okay, we'll do it with the sound down, okay? Because I'm sure there's music in the background. Yeah, it's a man with fake boobies. Are you adjusting yourself? It's a man trying to look like a woman, but big fish lips and blinking a lot, you know? Oh, my God. That does not make you look like a woman. I don't know, is she adjusting herself down there or what? He? The legs are the legs are a dead giveaway too. Yeah. What do you think? It's a man, baby. Looks like she was going to try and adjust himself. Mick O'Meara said anyone surprised that the Australian Labor government is wasting taxpayer, or should I say using taxpayer money for political ads, is really dense. Hey? Then again, they all do this every single time. It's the contempt these people have for our money. It's your money, after all. Is truly disgraceful. I think he left a couple of words out. So, yeah, this dickhead is wasting taxpayer money to promote himself even though he's going to lose. And the ALP is using taxpayer money to import millions of new voters during the cost of living and housing crisis because existing voters have deserted them. They're approving high-density developments in teal and blue seats to speed the process up. Well, I can't wait till those high-density developments end up in teal and blue areas. Yeah. And we'll see people going, no, not in our neighbourhoods. It's okay as long as it's out west. Not here. Okay. Malcolm Roberts said Chris Ullman on Fire in the Australians, speaking plainly about modern language straight from Orwell's 1984. In alt morality, race is intersectional, but white is irredeemable. Privilege is permanent, but biology is optional. Tradition is tyranny, but dogma is freedom. Progress demands tolerance, but not for dissent. Fitness is fatphobic, beauty is ugly, speech is violence, but silence is complicity. And expression is free as long as you agree. Maths is racist, English is colonial, engineering perpetrates patriarchy, architecture enforces inequality, science is oppression, economics reinforces capitalism, astronomy is Western cosmology, and law is injustice. It's absolutely upside down. I agree with you, mate. Clown world, upside down world, whatever you want to call it. Okay, take this with a grain of salt. I don't know. Red Pill Drifter said Betty Davis and occult demonic witchcraft. In this business, until you're known as a monster, you're not a star. Betty Davis. According to Betty Davis's daughter, a neurotic, controlling and manipulative drunk who indulged in the occult and spent decades trying to break up a daughter's marriage. That's the shocking portrayal of legendary film star Betty Davis by her eldest child, B.D. Hyman. She also claims to have witnessed her mother's demonic cackling, watching her transform into a satanic figure with a satanic face, long claws on the end of her hands, scraping at the glass of a terrace door during a 1982 trip to her Davis, California home. It includes claims that her mum dabbled in witchcraft, casting spells on her enemies from her bed, and that the star's demonic curse on Hyman and her family led to her grandson's bipolar diagnosis and a daughter facing terminal cancer. I don't know, but the last two could be just from procedures you have to have as a child so you can go to school. Okay, Indian Tech and Infra said the reason the US far right hates Indian Americans, not American Indians, CEO of Alphabet Google is Indian. Well, he's not doing a very bloody good job, and their AI algorithms are absolutely useless. The CEO of Microsoft, CEO of YouTube, hey, YouTube, hello, CEO of YouTube, hello. Your algorithms are not very good. They can't tell the difference between a parody song and the original. CEO of World Bank Group, CEO of IBM, CEO of NetApp, CEO of Artista Network, CEO of Novartis. I read that as virus. Novartis, CEO of Micron Technology, CEO of Flex, CEO of Wayfair. Okay, explains a lot. CEO of OnlyFans, CEO of Motorola Mobility, and more. I don't think they hate Indians. They just want them to go home. The ones who aren't doing anything but taking American jobs, which is the lower levels as well, you know. Delivery drivers, you know, supermarket workers. Lots of different jobs. We have them here. Yeah. Wall Street Mav said, you know, sometimes you drive or walk by somewhere and it smells like rotten egg, untreated sewage. Oh, this person might be. It's like that in 95% of India. It hits you right as you exit the airport and it doesn't stop till you leave the country. The country is quite literally a third world shithole that smells like a giant portable toilet, ammonia and hydrogen sulfide everywhere. Okay, I don't know. I've never been to India, okay? I don't know. Okay. But people are still upset about what Vivek said, okay? DOQ said, imagine for 1 second, JFK Jr. actually did fake his death and then tells the story of who was trying to kill him. Biden tried to kidnap him, documented, and Biden was a self-proclaimed Zionist. Imagine JFK Jr. has been filming a movie for the past 25 years, documenting everything. Even if all the above didn't happen, the game is over. It's an interesting thought. Not saying it's true or anything, just an interesting theory. Leading reporter said, breaking, Kevin O'Leary says he'll go to Mar-a-Lago to start the narrative about merging Canada with the United States because we don't want to do negotiating this deal. Think about the power of combining the two economies, O'Leary said. Common currency, open trade, EU-type passport. Yep. I'm not completely useless, Justin Trudeau. I can always be used as a bad example, an example of what not to do. Welcome to Canada, the 51st state of the great United States. Oh, honestly, I can't speak for Canadians, but as an Australian, I'd do it. Mick Amy has said if the following can happen, AFD take power in Germany, Reform Party in the UK takes power in 4 years' time, Trump finishes his term with JD Vance being elected president, Giorgia Meloni can win another term in Italy, Javier Milei can win another term as president, Poland elects the Law and Justice Party, again PIS, Australia may wake up to itself, maybe. Mike here said most 30 to 49-year-olds in Australia don't have a clue as to what's really going on in this country, never mind the rest of the world. It certainly looks like Dutton won't commit to any of the real policy as needed before January 20th. Hopefully Trump will be leading the way. Well, I know a lot of people over 49 who don't know anything as well. Okay, I know. Herald Sun, with a grain of salt, an unsuspecting tradie violently stabbed in a random attack of up to 10 teens in Melbourne's west, believed he was going to die as paramedics raced him to hospital. Yeah, well, it does look like sort of something, you know. There you go. Poor tradie. If that happened, I'm sorry, mate. That's bad. I just don't trust the news, sorry. Nathan Livingston, Mukbar TV, said Australians don't see us as threatening their freedom of speech or suppressing that. Australia's e-safety commissioner on the e-safety office, she can speak for herself. Let's do a poll below to see if Australians see the e-safety office as a threat to freedom of speech. You want to have a look? Australians, do you see the e-safety office as a threat to freedom of speech? 98.1% of 7,814 voters said yes. I couldn't vote in this, so I didn't get a chance before it was ended. Or I would have, and I would have said yes as well. 1% said no, 0.4% said maybe, and 0.6% are undecided. This woman has lost her marbles. Oh, it's exactly how we see her. Exactly. She is a threat to our freedom of speech, and she is suppressing our freedom of speech. And she's not Australian, and she needs to go the hell away very quickly. Very, very quickly. Can we deport her? America, do you want her back? Do you want Julie Inman Grant back? Because we will gladly, I'll start a GoFundMe to pay her. No, she can pay her own. She gets enough taxpayer money to pay her own way back home. Elon Musk said, stop donating to Wikipedia until they restore balance to their editing authority. Libs of TikTok said Wikipedia's annual budget report from 2023 to 2024 reveals that they spent over $50 million of their total $177 million budget on diversity, equity, and inclusion. Stop donating to Wikipedia. Building knowledge as a service reflects the largest part of the budget in 2023-24. Supporting equity represents the second largest part of our programmatic work, with grants and movement support representing the majority of the budget within the equity goal. Jesus Christ. They have no. We heard that from the lady yesterday. They don't want the truth. They just want a consensus. Okay? That's all they want. They don't want the truth. Craig Kelly says Australia is the only nation in the world planning to try and power itself with solar, wind and batteries. We are governed by nincompoops that failed Lego in kindergarten. Look at us. Holy shit. The rest of the world, right? So they're using coal, nuclear, and green nations trying to power their economies with solar, wind and batteries. We have utter morons running our government. And who called this? Did someone call this tosser like the Romeo of politics or something? I don't think so. No. Joey Manarino said, can we ban John Legend from singing Christmas music? I'm sick and tired of walking through department stores and having to hear that yodeling MFR on every radio. It's even worse when you know the guy is singing to a flat-chested psychopath who looks like she dropped out of some horror show. No, John, she doesn't deserve it all. She posted sick stuff about children. She deserves nothing but condemnation and ridicule. Why doesn't he just do a private concert for the Epstein client list and leave the rest of us, our ears, alone? And I think he means ears, not years. Okay? Because it's an assault on the ears, apparently. Mario Norfolk said Newsom's plan to Trump-proof immigration leaked. With Trump's deportation plans back on the table, Newsom's team is cooking up an immigrant support network to connect undocumented families to legal help, schools, and more. The kicker? California's budget is already $68 billion in the hole, but apparently there's always room to spend on a showdown with the feds. The draft's not final yet, but it's clear Newsom's gearing up for a fight. Blue state bailout. Biden just gave Newsom $15 billion. Biden administration agrees to record $15 billion loan to PG&E. Energy Department loan would finance efforts to upgrade power grid and reduce emissions. Future administrations can't claw back the money. Who reckons they used those machines to get him in too? I reckon half the people that got in didn't get in. No, not the right way anyway. Ben Ruffley said maybe Trump and Elon could also buy Australia. Canada, the 51st state. Greenland, the 52nd state. Panama, the 53rd state. And Australia, the 54th state. Better than the flogs running our country now. Fletch17 said, what if it's found out all these sentences being commuted are by staffers and not Biden? What if it's already on paper and proven by tests Biden had dementia before being sworn in as president? What if it's proven Obama never was a legitimate president? Wouldn't that be fraud? Fraud vitiates what? Treason. I don't know. Maggie Brittany said the entire administration is guilty of not impeaching him if they knew he was incapable of fulfilling his duties. Not impeaching him put our entire country at great risk, and they knew the whole time. And that's what Trump said.
Before we begin, I'd like to say that free speech is under assault like never before. The 25th Amendment is of zero risk to me, but will come back to haunt Joe Biden and the Biden administration. As the expression goes, be careful what you wish for. Before we begin, I'd like to say that free speech is...
Too busy having a sip of my cup of tea over here. Yeah, so there you go. That just be careful what you wish for, because it's going to come back to bite you on the arse, and not the way you think, just by removing President Biden, but everything that he's done in the past 4 years, and maybe even back to 2000 and when Obama took over, 2008, maybe then, all the way back to there, maybe. Baron of Burleigh said, I'm in shock. I read yesterday that only 13% of the 1,404,000 immigrants that have arrived under Albo's watch, are skilled in any way, shape or form, all of which will have to engage in local Australian certification before they can work. The government have dropped certification requirements for many, so much so that it's an outrage. I met 2 women from the Philippines who are nurses. They told me they have to undergo 2 months of university and 1 month practical hands-on in a hospital prior to achieving RN certification. What a joke our federal government are. That is frightening. Only 13% of them are skilled in any way, shape or form. And they still have to go through local Australian certification before they can work. But they've dropped that for so many. 2 women from the Philippines who are nurses, they only had to undergo 2 months university and 1 month practical hands in a hospital. That is insane. Am I reading that right? Were they trained before they came here, then had to be trained again? And how good is the health system in the Philippines? I don't know. I'm asking because I don't know. Mick said, do you believe this should be protected as free speech? Was Pauline in the wrong or in the right? She's appealing to this to the High Court. She has a right to free speech. Pauline Hanson said, your attitude appalls and disgusts me. She's replying to Maureen Faruqi. Condolences to those who knew the Queen. I cannot mourn the leader of a racist empire built on stolen lives, land and wealth of colonised peoples. So you'd rather your country just be what? Natives killing each other and tribes taking each other over? Is that what you'd rather do? We are reminded of the urgency of treaty with First Nations, justice and reparations for British colonies and becoming a republic. Pauline Hanson said, your attitude appalls and disgusts me. When you immigrated to Australia, you took every advantage of this country. You took citizenship, you bought multiple homes and a job in Parliament. It's clear you're not happy, so pack your bags and piss off back to Pakistan. And I'll say the same thing. It's freedom of speech. Yeah, Libs of TikTok isn't the only one who wants to know. Who is the cop who stood by and watched a woman burn to death? Who is this? Is it a security guard or a cop? Interesting though, isn't it? Yeah. Ashton Forbes said, if you're new to me, welcome to the biggest red pill of your life. Now, this is his belief, not mine, and I don't know, okay? I don't know, I'm just reading it. The United States abducted MH370. Cold fusion was suppressed in 1989. Free energy's real. EM drive, Star Trek Impulse drive is real. Warp drives have already been developed. We can produce a real wormhole. The government does horrific stuff. The government controls the media. Academia is a fraudulent, failed institution. The woke UFO community is filled with useful idiots and fraudsters. Some of the most influential figures are aware of and hiding technology for national security. This information is my present to you. Merry Christmas. Yep. Christopher said, focus your research on the free energy. Something happened a few hundred years ago. Buildings were lit up in the middle of nowhere. So many anomalies in our history. And that is the mud flood theory. Okay, that there are places like this, and they're being covered up to here with mud. Okay, Cat Turd said every scumbag, famous Hollywood actor, politician, musician, athlete, etc. Who was in... Oh, I already read that yesterday. So that is at the end. We are at the end. There you go. We are at the end. Wow. Yep, 1 hour and 30 minutes later. Okay, let's go back as far as I can in the chat. Okay, I was going to go to Rumble today to do a call-in. I don't know if Tim is here. I should have done it yesterday when he was here. But I've had a bit of a sore back and headache for a while, so... Yeah, it was... What can you do? J1, how you going? I can't see up before Kai said J1. Deb said it's all for entertainment purposes only. Exactly. Deb said, hello, Sherry. Hey, Sherry, how you going? Stuart Nunya Bizzo said he's a warrior fighting fish and that would be a giant monster to him, Kai. I don't know what you were talking about before that. Kai said it was the size of my thumbnail. I don't see how he did it. Kai said crammed it under a rock in the back of the bowl. Stuart said my dog's name's Max too. Oh, wow, cool. Paulie Donuts, how you going? Can't stay long. Just popped in to say hope you all had a very nice Christmas and all the best for New Year's if I don't see you all before. Cool, Paulie Donuts. Thank you. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you too. Stuart said, good crocodile, he's earning his keep. Deb said, what kind of dog, Stuart? Nunya Bizzo. Sounds like a great dog. Deb said, I love you long time, Hev. Me love you long time. Is that racist? I love you a long time. No, it's me love you a long time. Okay. Deb said, hey, Paulie Donut. Stuart Nunya Bizzo said, Deb, a miracle, blue nose, Staffy. He's on my profile pic. In good mood. Oh, God love him. Deb said, yes, I see him now. American, yep. Kai said, Team America World Police. Deb said, best kind, my fella, love that kind of breed of dog. Stuart Nunya Bizzo said, me too, my heart sunk, some of all my fears. Paulie said, later, Hev, you all in chat. Have a good one, Paulie. Kai said, you should all watch the movie Team America World Police. Oh, yeah, I haven't watched that. Stuart Nunya Bizzo said, Paulie, have a great evening or top of the morning to you. Stuart Nunya Bizzo said, it's a classic, Kai. Sybil, how you going, Kai? Yes, those Keystone people are very funny. Kai said it's 15 hours. Stuart Nunya Bizzo said, I feel lonely, wonky, or lonely. I don't know, Stuart. Kai said that vomit scene was priceless. Stuart Nunya Bizzo said, yet that almost split in half through laughing. Deb said, my old fella had a race dog named after him by a dog racer he met at the pub, Stormy Rush. She had a first race on the 21st of December. They took my fella Stormy down to the track to see how it works. Oh, God love him. I said, oh, by the way, they've been jabbing the pork, so yeah. Pork chops and applesauce. Kai said, I've got 5. Sorry. That was a Brady Bunch reference. Pork chops and applesauce. Pete. Kai said, I've got 5 small dogs and 2 that were pretty much stolen by my mother, dearest. Oh, no, Kai. Stuart Nunya Bizzo said, go Stormy. Deb said, I do know that they are looking for where the drugs are in the suburbs with high drug usage, supposedly to help figure out where the most druggy people are. Stuart Nunya Bizzo said, 5 reasons to appreciate life when things suck. Deb said, hey, Sybil. Kai said, they've dropped every possible story and the ET one twice. Sybil said, hi there, Deb and everyone in the chat. Stuart Nunya Bizzo said, and Tony too, 6 reasons. And your pet crocodile, Max, 7. Starchild, how you going? I'm sneaking in late. Hi, good evening all. How you going, Starchild? Kai said, speaking of fire, love girl, she just got in. Oh, your girl just got in? Oh, lovely. Kai said, Starchild, I'll be doing another live at, said Kai, 3 hours. Pop in and look at the carving. It's looking, Is that how you do it, Kai? It's looking, Cool, I'll try and call in, Kai. Sybil said, Dan's been looking like a dirty clown for some time now. Stuart Nunya Bizzo said, Kai, you might have to put a dangerous fish sign. Kai said, I could. He's dangerous to spiders his size. Deb said, I think Adelaide's getting moist. Alex said, I'm back. Kai said, Alex. Deb said, good to have you back, our beautiful Alex. Everyone's saying hello to Alex. Alex is saying hello to everyone else. Stuart Nunya Bizzo said, Cole Chisel. Okay. Still can't get it. Dear me. Stuart, sorry. Alex said, awesome, Stuart. Sybil said, hi there, Alex. Deb said, SW, you legend. Kai said, I've got to run to the store for cigarettes. I'll try to hurry back. Deb said, give me a Vegemite sandwich. Alex said, take care, God bless, and see you soon, Kai. Deb said, I also have to pot to post office before they close today. Sybil said, the cultural forensics of the welfare state are disgusting and disturbing, to say the least. Alex said, what time do they close, Deb? 12 p.m. where my package is, Alex. It's very close. Run there. Quick, Deb. Alex said, if people are offended, it's their problem. Exactly. Hey, George, how you going? Good to see ya. Alex said, a few hours yet, although time flies when you're having fun, Deb. Stuart Nunya Bizzo said, truly offended people don't talk like that. Deb said, yes, it does, Alex, and there's a lot of fun here. Sybil said, my great-grandmother 4 times removed push pebbles down a whale's blowhole to come to America. I pray for nobody's free ride. I pay for nobody's free ride. Stuart Nunya Bizzo said her child's medical condition should not be broadcast as point of objection. There you go. Well, she took offence to what he said, even though she said her child was vaccinated and autistic. Straight after he said, are any of the adjuvants in there a cause of anything? Zal said, g'day, Hev, and all great chat, folk. I nearly said that the wrong way round. Oh, my God. I'm becoming dyslexic or something. What's wrong with me? How you going, Zal? J1 said, copper in your pool water negates the need for chlorine. Uh-huh. There you go. Sal said, try and find copper vessels cheaply. They've also made copper utensils way too expensive. Alex said, oh, wow, unfortunately we get no choice at the moment. People coming over illegally are getting all brand new stuff via taxpayer money. Sybil, yeah, exactly. Starchild said, I have a copper water bottle, very expensive. Oh, really? Sal said, there's no such continent as Antarctica. Stuart Nunya Bizzo said copper vessels around here have red and blue flashing lights on them. Alex said, I think that's why they got rid of all the old copper pipes, because it made the water better for you. Now they're all plastic, which seeps into the water, and why everyone's now full of microplastics. I agree, Alex. Sal said, where the carbon footprint they want to remove exactly. Alex said, obviously that's not the only thing causing microplastics, but it doesn't help, lol. I agree. Alex said, that's great. I might see if I can get one, Star Child. Sal said, Labor or Liberal are two sides of the same coin. Sal said, try Temu or AliExpress. Alex, beware of Temu, let me tell you. See my shirt? Courtesy of Temu. Actually, it's Generation X, right? 1965 to 1980. Raised on hose water. And neglect. Hang on, let me turn around. I'll show you the back of it. It's got more on it. Hopefully I can do this properly where you can see the shirt. Where are we? Can you read that? Take a picture. I don't know if you can read it. Quickly, I'm turning around. Hope you can read that. I'd have to take it off to read it to you. I'm not going to do that. Even though I've got a singlet on underneath. Okay. Yeah, beware of Temu, seriously. I did get this shirt from Temu. So I said, you'll find the only place making copper vessels is the subcontinent. Oh, okay. Alex said, I think I can get one from B&Q. Stuart and Anya Bezos said the older hot water systems have big copper boilers in them like some police cars. Alex said, copper pipes have become so expensive now. I had to get some when I was doing my plumbing course years ago and was no way as expensive as it is now. Sybil said, I would recommend everyone know the enemy better than they know themselves if they want to do any type of significant damage. Alex said, I agree, Sybil. Are my chickens gone? Hang on one sec, guys. I've just got to check on the chickens. Just give me a sec. Have you checked the chickens? I'm about to. Yes, that was a squawk of a chicken with a problem. The chicken locked themselves inside the pen when I'd had to let them all out. Don't know how they did it. Okay. Where's I up to? Alex said, my dad goes to the farm to get meat and raw milk. There's not that much difference in money and such great quality. Exactly. Better quality. Not that much difference in the price. Alex said, bring back the good old days. Yeah, I agree. Sybil said, Alex, it's a nice thought, but they won't let it happen. A woman had all her livestock stolen in Colorado. Peter and Pedowood are one and the same. Alex said, I know that when epinephrine turns bad, it's like a form of adreno. That's why it's not so hard for people that need it to get it. Like my brother, he needs it for bee stings but can't get it. Sal said, I've had that experience, Hev, with a bloke here at work, her eat work about Australia and how we used to have guns. Yeah. At work, I think that's what you hear at work, yeah. But they freak out when they hear it. Like Australians, if you say, oh, we should have our gun rights back, they're like, ah! Do you want to be like America? The shooting's all over, everyone's going to be shooting each other. It's like, is that really what you think? I mean, we had them in the 70s and people weren't shooting each other. It wasn't until the Port Arthur false flag happened. And it only took one thing for us to give up our guns. Zal said, yep, I read that one. Zal said, total repeater of media now. Exactly. And you can hear it coming from them. It's like, oh, okay. Stuart McGovern, hello. Alex said, now so hard for people. Zal said, g'day, Stuart. Everyone's saying hello, Stuart. J1 said, sounds like Soros propaganda. Alex said, that's terrible news. Everything is license this, license that. I wish I could just leave everything alone. It upsets me they can just come in and shut things down for no reason, Sybil. Yep, exactly. Oh, Deb said, I'm back. It's shut after all that. No, Deb, really? Sybil said, it's all connected to the CDC now. It's how they gain control with lies. Alex said, welcome back. And oh, no, hopefully it'll be open again tomorrow, Deb. I don't know, a Sunday? Yeah, Monday if it's not a public holiday. I don't think Monday is. Monday will be the 30th. I won't be here on New Year's either. Alex said, oh, yeah, I forgot it's your Sunday tomorrow, Deb. Deb said, tomorrow's Sunday here, Alex. Sybil said, non-compliance is the only way to get anything done. Food for thought. Yep. Yeah. No. No, I will not. No, I will not. That's how I'm going out, Sybil. Deb said they took the children to civilise them. They did, to teach them. They were trying to show there was a better way than tribes killing and raping and, keeping slaves. Did you know that? They used to enslave other tribes. Alex said, if everyone just said no, there would be nothing they could do about it, but not enough people realise, or they're too scared and believe they have to comply. It's so frustrating. Alex said, this is sickening, the same everywhere. We have to bend over backwards to appease the people that hate us. Sal said, that little gnome policeman, is a total traitor. Yeah, he is, isn't he? Yeah, Zal said, Miss Southern was totally right. Yes. And there are lots of different, suburbs that have, their own country's people in there. We have Chinatown in Sydney. I don't know, is that just where you go to eat, or is it full of Chinese people? Okay, Sybil said when you sign your name is how they put you into contract. Deb said Pauline's been warning they're going to make Muslim law, Sharia law, yeah. Sal said there's at least Campsie, Burwood, Lakemba, Auburn, Punchbowl and Bankstown. Sal said Harris Park is a little India, also Parramatta too. Alex said we have 80-odd courts here now practising Sharia law, and there'll be more than that now as there has been such an influx. Oh, Zal said in Pendle Hill, and Blacktown has become Little Africa and Islander. They have. Yes, Blacktown has become... That was 10, 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago. This is not just Labor that's been doing this. When Liberal governments were in charge, the same thing was happening. Alex said, yes, complete traitors, Al. George said they want to take over, Alex. Sybil said Charlie Manson 2.0 woke and hippies both react the same. Alex said, yes, I know, and they're succeeding if it's being allowed to happen to snuff us out, George. Sorry, I've got a tickle in my throat still. Honestly, when I'm here, I don't normally talk this much. That's why I keep getting tickles in the throat. I don't talk to many people. Zhao said it's not the rank and file, George. It's a deliberate push of the loyalists to the cabal. Operating script to corrupt our societies before this coming shift so as to confuse and distract people. Deb said it is a good name and not the computer one. Yeah.
Timar28 tipped $10. How's your back feeling today, Hev? I've missed most of the show. I was goofing around at the airport most of the day.
Good. Timmy, if you want to call in, we're going to Rumble soon, and hopefully you can call in. And I've got just something to show people too, of the Senate questioning federal judges who want to be people who want to be federal judges. So it was very bloody interesting. Yes, Timmy, we're going to have a call in. I'm feeling not too bad today. I took your advice and I got some K2, some B, and I've got the D already, vitamins I'm talking about. Okay, just in case people are wondering, I'm talking about vitamins. God love you, Timmy. Thank you so much. You are a legend. And hopefully you can join us in the call-in. George says, Starmer Charles loves Islam. Ego Shredder said, climate fund gone... Sorry, I just sniffed in your ear. Ego Shredder said, climate fund gone missing. Must have been a contrail that led nowhere. Con being the operative word there. Ego Shredder said, hi, folks. Hope you are all well. You too, Ego Shredder. Sal said, they're being forced to run with the script, but are happy to do so because there is benefits for them and their ilk. Until they are no longer needed. They are dispensable. All these people who think they're doing, you know, all this work and they're going to be part of the in crowd when it all goes down, they're going to get thrown into the rubbish heap just as quickly as the rest of us. Deb said most Uber drivers are Indian trolley pushers or Indian, deliver food or Indian. Yep. And I don't know if you've noticed, most of our service gas stations, you call them in America, most of our service stations are run by Indians. That's all the little alternative service stations, the Uniteds and the Liberties and things like that. And now I'm noticing that they're taking over tobacconists. A lot of places. Alex said, scary times we're living in and not long now until the end times. I think it's been brewing for ages and the veil is lifting more and more. Zal said, yeah, contracts just evaporate like government taxpayer money. Yep. Deb said, should I go on? If you want, Deb. Zal said, so the Lebs next door using their air conditioner every day and not being racist, but I am if I turn my air conditioner on. Apparently, Zal. It's only if you're white, though, and use air conditioning. Forget if you're white and you don't have air conditioning. You're just poor. I don't know. MJ said, people are dropping from other things we know. It is absurd. Exactly. Alex said, yes, the UK is fooked. George said, I'm okay, thanks, MJ. How are you? Good to see you, MJ. MJ said, I'd love Canada to be with us, but it has to be what they want. Yeah. As an Australian, I do. Yeah. MJ said, man, oh, man. Deb said, we have medical condition. We did struggle, so we moved into this house because it has central reverse cycle, and we get to be on special plans to stay connected. Oh, good on you, Deb. George said, the UK has been in a mess for years. Hey, Robert, how you going? Americans love guns and Jesus. Armed Americans are the largest army on the planet. I agree. Starchild said, you should check out the Middle East in 1950, just like a Western country. It's puzzling, really. I know, Starchild. I have seen many of them. Many pictures of Lebanon and before Sharia law and Muslims came in and took over.
Timar28 tipped $5. Magnesium glycinate 2, I hope. LOL. Anyone with back pain, especially nerve-related stuff, megadoses of D3 and magnesium glycinate, K2 and B6 help settle the nerves.
Check with your doctor, yada yada. Anyway, I'll be free to call in. Good stuff. God love you, Timmy, you legend. Okay, so there you go. I do have magnesium. I have to check if it's glycinate. The D3 and the K2 are together, I think. I bought like a D3 and K2 together. And there's only 30 tablets in it. And it was like $10. And I'm like, holy shit. What are they doing? And B6, I've got B6. Check with your doctor. Anyway, yep, cool. Thank you, Timmy, you legend. Oh, dear. Ego Shredder said, yeah, what's the deal with all these rich guys having male partners dressed as women with fake boobs? I'd like to know that too. George said, hi, Starchild. MJ said, cults, cults, and more cults. Alex said, I wouldn't let Bezos' fancy bit anywhere near a heat source. Plastic. Polyester girl. Okay, Starchild said, hi, George. Deb said, I know, Starchild. It was a beautiful place to visit. Huggin' and munnin', how you going? Oh, the invasive species living in Canada. Alex said, yes, it's been slowly going downhill for years and started getting worse when Blair got in, George. Sybil said, transgenders and the Muslim Brotherhood have a commonality with propaganda. Everyone should speak about what Muhammad did. Yep. Deb said, my best friend's name Kristen, and she named her car cleaning business Kristen Car Cleaning. KKK. Oh, no. She used all Ks in it. Oh, my goodness. MJ said, yeah, brag about Wayfair, OnlyFans, etc. Keep them coming, IBM especially. Watson chipheads, they fall on the sword for others. Cults. Sybil said, Deb, it's the little things that piss them off and make them look retarded. Carl said, I've been to India. True. There you go. Ego Shredder said, the Americans I've spoken to all cite the same reasons why they dislike Indians, the smell, and that they are taking jobs, etc. Starchild said, tell that to Baltimore, who destroyed the bridge. They were from India. Ops. Really? MJ said, an Indian doctor saved my life when no one performed surgery for gallbladder. I was 18. He saved my life. I do not judge so quickly. Well, yeah, look, their country might be like that, but there may be maybe they're getting better education than we are right now. Look at the universities and colleges and schools. Look at the teachers. They're too busy worrying about teaching kids why they're gay or transgender than they are about actual problems or things, or I don't know. I agree though. If you have to employ people from overseas because they're more qualified, then that's what you have to do. But I understand what you're saying, and the people who are in there taking normal people's jobs, right, should be sent back. But if you need the qualified people, then you should import them. And train yours at the same time so that you've got more Americans learning, or Australians or British or whatever country you're in. But yeah, we need to do something. So I don't judge so quickly. I noticed, but some people, especially the people bagging the Indians, were really the ones that really got emotional when Vivek said that they need to import some technical people from India. Deb said, I know someone who had to go to India for business. It was for 4 weeks. He was home by 2 weeks' stomach. Oh. Huggin and Munnin said, Canada is liberal socialism. It would never fit with the US way of things. Shannon said, just dropped off daughter to fly to Melbourne. Oh, really? Oh, wow. Yeah, I hope she's good. Hope she has a good time. And Alex said, I hope she has a lovely time, Shannon. Deb said, how cool, Carl. Hope it was a good trip. Shannon said, hopefully not flying Plummet Airways. Starchild said, you know who Trudeau looks like to me? Mr. Tucker, lol. Shannon said, the trip hasn't started yet. She's just boarding her plane now. Wow. Deb said, yes, hope your daughter has a great, safe and happy times, definitely. Alex said, they have similar hair, I thought. Castro, Starchild. Shannon said, Prop spooling up now. Deb said, failed Lego. Starchild said, that's why I was laughing at myself. Things are nuts out here. Lol. Ego Shredder said, Shannon, what's happening in Melbourne? Alex said, all this green energy net zero nonsense is already backfiring, causing so much damage. It is. Shannon said, her first trip away to stay with my brother. Oh, God love her. She's still young too, I hope she's safe, has safe flight and gets there safely. Outside Dynamite said the house controls the purse. George said, I went on a bit of a rant on Christmas Day, not sure my family was impressed. Lol. Oh, my stomach. Shh. I have to get some crackers during the break between here and Rumble. Ego Shredder said, Alex, I've seen a lot of normies in the comments online complaining about the climate crap and EV cars, etc., but not realising yet that it's Agenda 2030 plan. Huggin and Munna said, I wonder which group of people we can never criticise. Ego Shredder said, George, I managed to avoid shooting my mouth off while at my usual place for dinner this Yuletide. Ended up talking about nicer stuff and times instead. Sometimes you can't help yourself. Shannon said, plane taxiing out to the runway. Oh, good luck. Alex said, it's getting scary, Huggin and Munnin. Deb said, some of the best nurse I had were Filipino. Yeah, I'm not like so fussed these days on the training. I mean, if it's a doctor or a surgeon, you want a good one, you know. Oh, I don't know, but I don't trust the teaching either. Deb said, sad daddy Shannon, what a good dad. Out of Sight Dynamite said, the group of people you can never criticise is a group that's too busy actively trying to enslave and unalive the GP globally. They can't be criticised if they don't know they are. Zal said, the truth of community is busy being exposed now. Yeah, I think it is. Zal said, 1900 was the last of free energy, removed by the likes of Carnegie and Westinghouse. Shannon said, I'm not sad. I think the wife teared up a little bit. Oh. Ego Shredder said, George, yep, their favourite Nazi uncle brother was a picture of best behaviour and decorum for a change. Deb said, oh my God, Shannon, anyone for Chinese? Oh, you make me want Chinese, Deb. Alex said, your baby girl's getting older. She'll have a great time, Shannon. Shannon said, not right, meow. Up and away with TAA. I remember that. George said, be right back, going to the shop. Have a good one, George. See you when you get back. Deb said, it's like the teacher is talking and we play up. Now we got phone to have even more phone. No phone when I was in school. Alex said, take care and see you soon, George. Ego Shredder said, George, I'll have a Twix and a Mars bar, thanks. Sybil said, thanks, Hev. Thanks, Sybil. Deb said, movie Jekyll and Hyde together again, B-grade movie. When he sits on the tail of the plane, he says, the only way, fly. Such a funny movie, very old. Deb said, I sent the doctor a message to see if he's around. I'll ask him again, are you free? He's already confirmed. MJ said, I love it, metal slides. Alex said, that's a great T-shirt, Hev. Love it. Deb said, I did not get a front shop. I got the back. The front just says Generation X. Hang on. Oops. Hang on, what does it say? It says Generation X, 1965 to 1990. Sorry, itchy nose. And it says something underneath. Raised on hose water and negligence. Oh, you can't see it. There you go. Deb said, have you checked the children came out when I was babysitting? I remember being like 9 or 10 and watching that movie, When a Stranger Calls. Have you checked the children? I watched that recently. It's on YouTube. Deb said, we was brought up tough. Yep, no glamping when I was young. Exactly. Ego Shredder said, Gen X coded the internet so that you guys could talk shit on here. We're awesome. MJ said, do you know where your children are? Then all the creepy phone calls, scary movies, stalker crap. Those movies made you afraid to babysit. Shannon said, did Hev go out to fart? So considerate. No, my chickens. I could hear one going off. And I know why, because it was stuck in the pen. The door shut somehow. I don't know how. And there was a cockatoo in there with it. And it was freaking out. The chicken was trying to get back out. Not to mention the cockatoo. Probably found itself in there and going, holy shit, how do I get out now? Deb said, I can hear chickens. Carl said, I want fried chicken now. Alex said, oh, little chook's freedom. Carl said, ha ha ha, Shannon. Here goes Shredder said, Shannon, she was sending that dodgy curry back to India where it came from. Deb said, Carl, you should see what Shannon sent me. Chinese. George said, back. Deb said, cat. Zal said, there were hardly any shootings in the 70s in Australia. Exactly. Alex said, welcome back, George. Wish shops were around here were open this late. J1 said, Deb, we took no ice and flipped the tinny over to sleep under if it rained. George said, the shop up the road from me is open 24 hours, Alex. Alex said, that's great. Sometimes it'd be nice if when I run out of milk. Got to have a nice cup of tea, George. Deb said they took the Aboriginal children overseas to see the difference in getting the Aboriginal out of them, not colour part. I'm thinking they were twins. Ego Shredder said, Zal, shootings were so rare they basically never happened when our area developed. All Paki Indian postcode areas, there are shootings all the time and people trying to run each other down. George said, okay, Alex, lol. Deb said, education of firearms was taught at a young age, exactly. And you had respect for them and you didn't go aiming them at people or shooting people all over the place. Shannon said, Debs, have you ever gotten a fortune cookie after a Chinese dinner which said that wasn't chicken? Oh, dear. Alex said, if I moved to another country, I would want to try and fit in with the culture and learn the language. Exactly. Deb said, doctor in the house. Alex said, awesome, Timmy. George said, Timmy. Deb said, hello, Timmy. Ego Shredder said, doctor's in the house. Yay. MJ said, I see it like this. All over America and France and Australia, UK, they know what they did in 2020. You know what they did. Like orphan trains, they need a workforce. Shannon said they like the walnut sauce out of well-melanated children the most. They do. Deb said, our doctor is free. Get your question ready, folks. Shannon said, what about when the Royals visited all those children who all went missing, picnic and hanging rock? Anyone? MJ said, same here, Hev. Sal said it was a picnic, Shannon. Deb said, yes, the Indian have been filling jobs we do not want. No, but like I would take some of those jobs that the Indians are doing. People like me with no qualification, well, no real, can't do much. I've been sick for too long. I could drive, do deliveries. I don't know about me back. I mean, they'd have to be very light deliveries, but, I don't know. Alex said, it doesn't take long to change history, especially if it's only children that are learning what they want them to know. I think timelines are all messed up. Alex said, awesome, Timmy. Deb said, Timmy, you legend. Alex said, not sure why I wrote especially twice. I think I meant to say change history completely, especially if. Deb said, hope Muskrat of Menacing is getting better. Yes, poor Menacing Muskrat. Ego Shredder said, Alex, they're teaching children to hate their parents and their nation's history. Full commie attack on everyone. A couple of generations from now, the kids will think blacks invented everything. Deb said, 2 different gypsies told me I would travel to an ancient country. My first thought was India. Alex said, I know, it's disgusting. That's why I think everyone should homeschool their children if they can. I don't know why anyone would want strangers bringing up their children, teaching them their views. Well, they never used to teach their views. It used to just be like teaching English, science, maths, mostly. I don't know when they started changing, telling kids all about their lives. Ego Shredder said, we've been making our own people more qualified by creating the conditions for that to happen automatically. Yes, by education. Alex said, name wouldn't fit, lol, Ego Shredder. Ego Shredder said, Alex, yeah, sorry about that. I forgot to shred my head after last time. MJ said, Alex, I agree. The timelines are messed up. Alex said, I remember seeing a video once of a bloke who went to pick his son up early from school and they had him wearing a dress. The father went ballistic, and I don't blame him. Deb said, please remember, do not fear. Exactly. Alex said, it's YouTube's fault having only 200 character limit and don't exclude names. Timmy said, definitely be worried about the education medical school in the last 10 years especially. Alex said, I've always felt like there has been missing time and think they're still messing with it. It certainly doesn't feel like it should be Christmas again already. Alex said, hey, Timmy. Deb said, Hev asked Shannon to send you Chinese. Chinese what? Oh, I don't know. Do I want him to send me Chinese? Is it cats? I don't know if I want to be sent Chinese cats. I don't know. What is it, Deb? First. I don't know about those Chinese cats. I don't want to see a Chinese cat. Pat said, I found Aussie nurses the best. How you going, Pat? Good to see ya. Yeah, I found they are. MJ said, oh, Alex, I'm exhausted. I nap now on 5. Feels like 9 o'clock. It's cool bananas. George said, hi, Timmy. Hi, Pat. Deb said, thank you for one TT on shirt. Deb said, yes, it's worrying that a doctor where I am didn't even know that my mum and dad's neighbour had shingles. She didn't know what it was and had to ask a senior doctor, Timmy. Oh, no. Shannon said, I sent it to you both, Deb, but Hev doesn't check her phone. I do, but I just don't carry it around with me all the time. It better not be what I'm thinking. Oh, thank God. Okay. Hang on. It is a Chinese fried rice recipe. Rinse the chicken thoroughly. Poor little cat. Poor cat. Okay. Pat said, hi, gorgeous George. Alex said, I know exactly what you mean, MJ. I constantly feel exhausted too. Flyby Stew, hey up, Hev, how you going? Flyby Stew. Tim S said, are you having a go, Alex? Seriously? He didn't know what shingles are, lol? Apparently not. Alex said, no. I was like, what? That's basic. Luckily, their neighbour is getting better now, but it was pretty bad, Timmy. And Deb said, hello, our beautiful Pat. There you go, Shredder said, I just realised I got my song reference wrong. It's not Doctor, it's Daylight. Groove is in the heart. Zal said, coffee time from work here. George said, good tune, Ego. Sybil said, those Indian doctors work in the hospitals as well. They're certainly not friendly in the least. Zal said, I'm of gypsy heritage, Deb. Deb said, what happened to get Cabbage Patch Kids? Free energy, welfare. Pat said, they are doing jobs Aussies refuse to do. Who said that? That's what the TV says. Oh, Aussies refuse to do these jobs, so we've got to get Indians in to do it. Why there's so many unemployed people? Alex said, my sister was telling me too that my neighbour's teaching had spelling and grammar mistakes in notes on his work. Oh dear. Yeah, I've seen people claim that they're all sorts of things and they can't even spell properly, and it's like, really? How'd you pass? I don't know. I don't know why I thought spelling was important, you know? Deb said, holy cow. Have you got thunderstorms over there, Deb? MJ said, Deb, are they holding out on the info? They put it out then. If they know, tell us. I think Cabbage Patch's DNA mixing. Ooh. Alex said, no, not the kitty. Deb said, Shannon's dinner. Sybil said, Greg Gumbel is dead and don't be surprised to see ESPN get wiped out completely. Really? With that, guys, I'm going to see you over on Rumble in about 5-10 minutes. I'll see you over there. Much love, and hopefully you can join us. Okay, guys, have a good one. Bye.